very excited today, Fresh Coast Gaming fans. You mostly see me play Eldar on bat reps, and don't get me wrong, I love my Iandan lists, but my oldest and first love in 40k is definitely Space Marines. So with this new codex coming out, I'm really excited to see what kind of new toys I can play out for my Star Phantoms. So in the grand fashion here at in Fresh Coast Gaming, Muggins and I are going to be doing a great Badab War throwdown. You've seen this before in bat reps, but this is going to be the 6th edition Space Marine Badab War Star Phantoms versus Mantis Warriors. We have one Loyalist chapter and one Rebel chapter. Let's take a look at my list. 2,000 points is what we're going to be playing today. Start off with the HQ. I have a Chapter Master. This is a Scibor miniatures model. Quite cool. I painted this for our Heroes of the Imperium month. They have Fresh Coast. He has the Burning Blade, a Storm Shield, Auspex, and Meltabombs. Terminator armor, of course. He's actually going to be hitching a ride with 3 of these Centurions. Now, these guys are much maligned on the web. I think in person they are significantly better looking than in photos. They are all armed with grav cannons and hurricane bolters. I think that's the way to go against most lists. Missile launchers are nice, don't get me wrong, but if you don't have the 30 points, you don't have it. I think grav cannons can definitely take out any vehicles that they're going to come across. And they're all hitching a ride in a Land Raider Redeemer with multi-melta and extra armor. As far as troop choices, we have 4 snipers, 1 missile launcher with flak missiles. Veteran Sergeant upgrade in there. We have 5 more scouts, with 4 with bolters, 3 with bolters, 1 heavy bolter, bolt pistol, power fist, and they are going to be riding in a Landspeeder Storm with multi-melta. I love that this is now a dedicated transport for scouts. We have 2 tactical squads. One is multi-melta, melta gun, combi melta, power fist in a drop pod. The other is plasma gun, plasma cannon, combi plas, power fist in a Rhino. Both sergeants are veterans. Actually, all the sergeants have veteran upgrades. We have 2 Vindicators in back. 2,000 points. We are going to go with the double force sword. 2 Vindicators with siege shields. And the new Stalker. I like this a little bit more than the Hunter. I think the Hunter has its place, but I want to try out the Stalker because I got a feeling I know what Mike's going to be bringing against me today. Speaking of which, I have my own Storm Talon with twiddling las cannons. All right, let's look at Mike's list. He just kind of spoiled some of it for you, but we'll have a better look at it soon. Here we have a shot of Mike's Mantis Warriors. They're being led by his newly promoted Chapter Master, at least for today. When he uses his bike, guys, he'll have a Chapter Master on a bike. But this guy has a Lightning Claw, the Auspex, digital weapons, and the Shield Eternal to give him the Eternal Warrior and Adamantium Will. He also has 3 Centurions with grav cannons, and he has the missile launchers on them. 2 tactical squads in Rhinos with multi-melta, power fists, and flamers. He has 3 dreadnoughts. Both the Contemptors are actually just regular dreadnoughts. We've got twin link las cannons here, multi-melta missile launcher on that one. That one is in a drop pod, and we have an Ironclad as well. 1 Storm Talon. Oh yeah, he's got this. I'll get to that. He's got 1 Storm Talon with Skyhammer missiles. There's a 5-man scout squad with a missile launcher in there. Do they have flak also?
No.
No flak on that. And the Storm Raven, las cannons, hurricane bolters, and the Ironclad is hitching a ride on that. Yep. It's one of my favorite things that the Blood Angels can't do is put Ironclads on their Storm Ravens. Don't get me wrong, Furiosos are great, but I think the Ironclads are cooler. And then something nice and new. We have the Javelin Attack Speeder from Forge World. It's got missile launchers and a heavy bolter, or is multi-melt on that too?
Heavy bolter.
Heavy bolter. Oh, yep, there it is right there. All right, 2,000 points. We're going to roll off from mission deployment and get started. One quick note I did forget to mention, Mike is playing his Mantis Warriors as White Scars. He generally will always be playing them as such. Me, with Star Phantoms, are a little different. They don't really have a definite progenitor chapter. They might be Dark Angel successors, but we don't know. So I'm going to actually play them today as Iron Hands. It makes sense due to the siege nature of the Star Phantoms and the fact that I have a ton of vehicles today, so it's a little bit crappy.
Even if they are Dark Angels, they follow the Codex, right?
No, well, Dark Angels have their own Codex, so I wouldn't be able to use the new Space Marine book.
The Codex Astartes?
Yes.
They are a Codex chapter.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they certainly are, but I wouldn't be able to use, our new hotness over here.
Right, I'm saying they don't use those kind of formations where they have all kinds of bikes and...
Well, you're saying Dark Angels don't have formations with bikes?
No, you're doing something.
Moving on. There's a nice shot of the table. The mission is Big Guns Never Tire. We have 4 objectives. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mike put his back in some cover, and I threw mine out in the open. I got all my guys lined up nicely here. I have a drop pod with a tactical squad in reserve, speeder outflanking, and the Storm Talon also in reserve. Centurions and the Chapter Master are in there. Meanwhile, Mike has his big guys hiding in the building, and his Storm Raven only has the Dreadnought in it. Tactical squads are in the Rhinos, and there's both the Dreadnoughts. Oh, sorry, there's one in reserve, the last cannon Dread. It's right back there. And then there is his Hunter. I do have first turn, and Mike tried to seize and failed, so we're going to tune back in after my turn 1. Bottom of turn 1, my vehicles come out of cover. We do have night fighting in effect, which helped Mike quite a bit in regards to his Centurion staying alive. But this Vindicator over here had a shot through that door at the Dreadnought, hit the Dreadnought, and both the tanks back there managed to pen all 3 of them. Didn't destroy any of them, but stunned the Hunter, ripped the right arm off the Dreadnought, and immobilized the Rhino. So that was a pretty good shot. I managed to hit the Centurion in the building a couple times, but Mike made all of his cover saves there. Good thing, too, because one of them was a shell from that Vindicator. And over here, just shot at some the snipers with my Stalker, and he made his cover save, 2 up cover, of course. Popped smoke on the Land Raider because it was going to be out of range of everything, and it's ready to face some deep striking Dreadnought Melta. On that front, my drop pod scattered off the table. I tried to get behind there, scattered off the table, and it's just delayed. So it's back in reserves. I'm moving into Mike's turn 1. Mike's turn 2. Dreadnought steps around from behind the Rhino and takes a pot shot at the Vindicator, but thanks to night fighting, I made my cover save. Over here, missile launcher from the Rhino as well as snipers managed to glance my Rhino and actually stun my Vindicator. I failed cover saves on both of those. So the Vindicator is stunned, minus a hull point, and the Rhino is just glanced, so he's going to act as normal. But the biggest news, the Centurions over here moved around so that 2 of them could shoot at my Land Raider. And it's a very good thing that I popped smoke. I did get the +1 to my cover save from Stealth, giving me a 4-up cover save. He managed to get 4 sixes to immobilize me 4 times, which would have wrecked the Land Raider. But I made all 4 of the cover saves against it. So the Land Raider is untouched. Thank you, smoke launchers. Moving into my turn 2. Oh yeah, his drop pod tried to do exactly the same thing that mine did and land behind everything, scattered off the table, and is in delayed reserve again. So inauspicious starts for both of us, and not the greatest turn for either of us. So moving into turn 2. Turn 2 was, for me, what Mike hoped his turn 1 would have been for him. I get all my reserves except my drop pod in. The Storm Talon comes flying in, and over top of the Rhino that was there, blew up the Hunter with assault cannon and last cannon fire. So it's 1 anti-air unit that's down, so my Storm Talon, for the moment, is going to be unmolested. Took some shots, killed a single scout over here. My speeder came in behind the Rhino here and whiffed with everything. But the big news, my Land Raider trundled forward, disgorged my Centurions, my Chapter Master's Auspex, dropped the cover save on his Centurions by 1. I placed them so I could see them with everybody, and they were all in range of Hurricane Bolter fire and grav cannons. And notice no more Centurions. The Chapter Master is all by himself right there, and I did just enough wounds to kill all 3 of them. So point for point, they've made theirs back already. But we'll see if I can continue to do well with them. Over here, Vindicator just popped smoke to protect itself, and snipers tried really hard to take out that lone multi-melta Marine sitting right there, but nothing worked. He made his cover saves, and he survived. So we've got a Dreadnought with 1 arm, a tac squad, another tac squad over here, and some scouts, and Mike has 2 flyers and 2 Dreadnoughts in reserve. Let's hope that it doesn't end well for him. Moving into bottom of 2. Mike's reserves managed to almost entirely come in. His Storm Talon stayed off the table. Storm Raven and the Dreadnought combined to kill all 3 of the Centurions and put a single wound on the Chapter Master. The Land Raider was unmolested. That could be a mistake. The Land Speeder back here, though, Heavy Bolter and missile launchers blew up my Vindicator. Good shooting over here. Over here, nothing else happened, though. I made my jink save on my speeder versus a crack missile. And that's it. These Marines all kind of moved around, shimmied around. and are getting ready to be shot at by my guys. So now we're going to move into turn 3. See if my drop pod finally wants to show up. And then go on. Oh yeah, duh, how could I forget? The most epic thing happened. Chapter Master versus Chapter Master right here. We've got the Burning Blade on my part, and the what's the Eternal Shield called?
The Eternal Shield.
Is that what it's called? It's called the Eternal Shield? Whatever. The shield that gives you Eternal Warrior over here. So I'm striking swinging 4 times at strength 7 AP 2. Mike is swinging 4 times at strength 4 AP 3, re-rolling wounds, and nothing happened. That wound is from a bolter shot from the Storm Raven. Moving into turn 3. This game is full of this crazy crap. The Stalker shot at the Storm Raven and did nothing. Hit all 4 times, but failed to do any damage. So the Storm Talon had to turn its guns on it and took 2 hull points off. Stunned it, but that was it. The Scout with the missile launcher and flak missiles managed to drop it out of the sky, though. And I also, coincidentally, ripped off one of the arms off the Ironclad Dreadnought in the crash. So that's pretty nice. Back here, the Land Raider only took a hull point off the Dreadnought here, so it's still good, and the Land Raider's about to not be there. Over here, 3 Marines died to the Vindicator, and they passed them around. Check they're okay. These Marines unloaded Combi Melta, Multi-Melta, and a Melta gun at that Dreadnought and blew it up. And those Scouts and Speeder failed to do anything over here. I managed to kill a single Scout with this Marine squad getting out of the Rhino. It was the Sergeant with a couple precision shots from my Sergeant. That's it. We're going to move into Mike's turn and go from there. He has his flyer still to see if he comes in. Nope, on a 1. Oh yeah, the epic combat between Chapter Masters resulted in Mike hitting me 4 times, wounding me 4 times, and me failing 1 save, and me hitting him once, wounding him once, and him failing his save. So it was going to be a tight combat. Mike used his White Scars chapter tactics to hit and run, and ran back, and I rolled a 6 for my consolidate, and I'm running into cover to make sure that if those Dreadnoughts do charge me, I get to strike first. So moving now officially into Mike's turn. We did make one little mistake on the hit and run. Because Mike's Chapter Master is in Terminator armor, he cannot hit and run. So they are still stuck right in the middle here, and the Dreadnought is about ready to pounce. Mike's turn 3, it wasn't too bad. This TAC squad lost a single Marine. He did manage to wipe out the Scouts here with flamers and bolter shots. They were untouched. These Scouts didn't do anything. They tried to shoot the Stalker and failed. The Vindicator here has been stunned again, though. So he's not going to be able to shoot. The Dreadnoughts shot at and assaulted the Land Raider, kicked it to death, but thanks to that armor 14, he only barely wrecked it. If he had failed 1 more roll, he would have still been kicking, and that would not have been good for Mike.
Can you imagine a Dreadnought kicking?
I can certainly. One of my favorite things to do with my Wraith Lords is punting Land Raiders. Battle Wagons. I had a single Wraith Lord. I think it was on video too. 1 Wraith Lord wrecked 2 Battle Wagons in a game by kicking it. On impact hits, no less. So anyway, we're going to move into turn 4. Oh yeah, Mike's Storm Talon still just is being lazy. So turn 4 coming up.
Jeb Stewart at the back.
Turn 4. My Marines conga lined out here and shot at the Marines hiding in cover here. There are now a Sergeant, was that a missile launcher or multi-melta? Multi-melta and flamer left. Those Scouts I tried to kill with the Rhino over here, didn't do anything. The Stalker came in and ripped off another hull point from the Dreadnought here, and I had to finish him off with the Land Speeder. I did pen it, blow it up, failed to hurt my Scouts. This tank was stunned, so it couldn't do anything. I had nothing to snap fire the bolters with. Those Marines unloaded on that squad over here. There's only a single Marine left. Storm Talon entered hover mode and tried to destroy the Ironclad and failed. It is stunned though, but extra armor, so it's only going to be shaken. And the snipers tried to take out that speeder and completely missed on everything. No, that's not true. I hit with 2 sniper rifles but failed to pen it. So we're going to move into Mike's turn 4 and see what his Storm Talon does when it finally decides to make an appearance.
Does it come on automatically?
Automatically. Oh yeah, the epic slap fight here in the middle continues with me wounding him once, him completely missing 4 times, and he made his invulnerable save. So glad I have the Warlord trait that gives me D3 victory points for killing a character.
In a challenge.
So you have to say, oh, I'm sorry. Effectively, we are not in a challenge, even though they're fighting by themselves. That's what it's like playing Mike. That's what it's like playing Mike.
Esquire, lawyer.
Yeah, that's true. All right, moving into turn. Mike's Storm Talon came in and shot up my Marines, killed a couple of them, but they're okay. The Dreadnought ran around here. I thought he was going to charge my Storm Talon, but he didn't. He decided to blow up my Vindicator, get the extra kill points. The Stalker has been stunned by the Scouts. And this combat continues to do nothing. Moving to turn 4. All right, tactical squad from the drop pod blew up the Rhino, and this squad finished off that combat squad. I blew up the Dreadnought with the Storm Talon, still in hover. The Stalker shot at and I believe took off a hull point. No, didn't do anything to him. He made his cover save. And the snipers did it. All right, I glanced him and I glanced the speeder down here, so they're each down a hull point. My speeder over here tried to kill a scout and failed. The combat over here did nothing again. But this was the highlight of the turn by far. I tried to tank shock the missile launcher guy. And Mike decided Death or Glory and blew up the Rhino. I've never seen Death or Glory work in such a great fashion before. So we're moving now into bottom of 5. This is going to be the last turn because the story is about ready to close on us. Mike's turn 5 sees the land speeder tried to kill some of the scouts and knock them off the objective. He did kill enough, but I made my leadership test. They're okay. This Storm Talon blew up my Hunter, or Stalker, excuse me, knocking me off that objective and getting a bonus point. But that's about it. Nothing else over here died. The slap fight between Chapter Masters continues. I did manage to put a single wound on him, so he's down a wound, and so we're basically at square one with those two. Final victory point total, though.
Actually, 8 to 7, because each objective is 3 points.
Yeah, each objective is 3 points. We are each holding one. Mike has this one. I have that one with my scouts. I have Linebreaker, and I got First Blood, which is where it's going to make all the difference, because I have 4 heavy support choices for 4 bonus points, and Mike had 3. So that gives me an 8 to 7 victory. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
8 to 7 victory. Very, very, very close. If this game had continued on, I definitely would have had more, because I got to run those guys back, run these guys in, and and holding 2 objectives, and maybe knock that guy off that one with my Storm Talon. But we're out of time. It is 10 o'clock exactly. We need to start packing up and going home. So
they've made up. They're friends now.
They're friends now. Yeah. You are now. You have successfully completed your penitent crusade. Yeah, this is the last part of it. So, Chapter Master Charlesso and Chapter Master Ozkar are well and good. Bonus points to any of you viewers who get the references on those names. Anyway, we're really happy with this book. We think it's nice and balanced. It's super fun, which is exactly what this game needs. We don't need more net tau lists. We need some really fun Space Marine stuff. Stay tuned though. We do have a Crusade of Fire campaign coming up soon, and that should be really exciting. Thanks again for watching.